Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. Welcome to um, episode 16, I think, is where we are. So, a little bit of an adjustment. My laptop is not charging at the moment. Well, it's charging at the moment, but it comes and goes. So, I transitioned to my phone. So, um, a little bit of an adjustment there. So, bear with me. I apologize, but thank you for working with me and for your patience on that. Couple of things for today's episode. I'm going to talk about spreading the love in honor of Valentine's Day, and it's just going to be about some of the other things that you can do as a notary. Um, First thing I want to do is just take a second to talk about the change in the host. I mentioned before that JC had needed to step away. So he will not be joining us on the podcast any longer. I'm not sure if he would be able to come back at a later time, but he's got some other responsibilities and things that he needs to take care of. So that's what he's doing at the moment. So send all your prayers to JC. They're going to be going on a mission trip this month. So definitely want to support him in that. And so I know that I've not done an episode for the last 2 weeks. So jumping back in, I have my notes on my phone here. So bear with me because, again, my laptop is not cooperating with me. So we're just going to keep it kind of short and sweet tonight. Just talk about a couple of things. We talked about this before about some different opportunities. If you want to be a notary, and some of these things could change based on the state that you're in. Most of the things apply for most states, but some states do have different requirements for their notaries. Like, for example, one of the things that we're going to talk about is an option to be a wedding officiant. But that's not available for Texas. You can only do that in Florida, Nevada, South Carolina, and Maine. In Texas, I can't do that. But if you're in any of those 4 states, you can. So a lot of times, especially around the holidays, December was very, very slow for me, for loan signings. If you're, a very well established, if you have your own clients, it may not be as challenging. At the moment, I'm still going through signing services. So December was very, very slow. So that brings around some opportunities or some ideas to look at other things to kind of bring in either extra income or just expand on some of the things that you're doing. And if your goal is to eventually do this business full time, then anything extra that you can add, excuse my dog's running around, anything extra that you can add to give more to, your portfolio, more opportunity for people to be able to reach out to you. The bigger your clientele is, the more business you're going to have. So obviously the loan signings, being just your general notary, you can do those loan signings. You can do notarizations for whatever people need. I've been getting calls. People are looking me up on Google and they are calling for, I did one last week for someone who needed to do a background check for a federal job. I went and did a will for someone who was in an assisted living facility. So all of those are your basic notary services. And then your loan signing is what you're going to do for obviously like a home loan or refinances, things like that. You're selling your home. I'm not 100% on other states. I only know for sure for Texas, it's not required that you get training, but it's definitely highly recommended. Most of the signing services, and even if you work directly with escrow companies or realtors or anybody that's in the business, they'll want to know who you did your training with. They'll want you to be background checked, because they want to make sure that when you're providing this paperwork, they'll send you all the paperwork. You have to print it out. You have to prepare it. You need to know what you're presenting to the clients. If they have questions, you need to know where to find it in the paperwork. You can't answer questions about rates or prices or, is this a good price? Is this a good rate? Things like that. But you need to know where to go and find that information in the documentation that's been provided. And you need to be able to just present the document like, this is this particular document. You need to sign here, date here, and be able to answer, basic questions that they may have. Then the other one that's seems to be kind of a big push right now that I just recently did is apostille. I know we talked about that before with JC. That's basically where you have to get a notarization from the state because it has to go to another country. So the one that I just did, I needed to go to Austin because this documentation, I notarized it online, actually. The gentleman that I spoke with is in Ecuador. He's from Texas. And so I notarized the paperwork for him online, and then I printed it out as a certified copy, took it to Austin so it could be apostilled by the state, and then FedExed it to his mother so that she can send it back to him in Ecuador. So when you do paperwork like that, or when you do processes like that, it has to go through the state if it's going to be going to another country. And usually with those, you can charge quite a bit more because of all the extra steps it has to go through. You have to pay extra fees to have it processed. You have to pay shipping. You have to send self-addressed envelopes if you're mailing it. If you take it there, they'll do it the same day, but you have to drive to Austin and stand in line. And then the next one that we have is a permit runner. This is something that I came across just doing some research, and it's basically if you are working with a construction company or a contractor, and they need to have permits for whatever work they're doing. A lot of times they will hire a notary to go and do the running back and forth, go and file the papers, or, and I've not done it yet, so I don't know what all is included in it. But that is something that a lot of notaries have added to their portfolio, is doing the permit running so that they can be that in between for the contractors. And then not only are they there for doing the permits, they're there for any additional notarizations that they may need. And then, they can pass your name around between the other contractors. You get to know a lot of people that way, get to meet a lot of people going back and forth between the contractor and the city. So it's a great opportunity to meet people and, be that extra hand and make that extra money. The next one that I do pretty often is field agent / photo inspections. Basically, that is where you would go. You get an opportunity from it still gets it through the signing service. Well, I still get it through the signing service right now. But for example, you will take pictures of a home that the client is going to sell. So you go and you take pictures of everything. You take pictures of the outside of all the doors, AC unit, electrical panel, anything that you find that looks damaged. So any kind of cracks, holes, anything like that, you'll take pictures of. And then inside, you'll take pictures like of the entire room, under the sink, of the water heater, like everything that someone who is not there to see the property would want to see or would need to see in order to make a decision, on that property. The last couple that I've worked with were out of California who were buying this property. Actually, one was in Arizona, one's in California. So obviously they're not here to be able to go and inspect the property. So it's up to you to make sure that you are getting quality pictures. And they'll always send you, you know, what their expectations are, what all they want pictures of. They'll send you examples of pictures that they have. And then they'll have you, you know, upload them to their portal, and then that's all you have to do. And it takes maybe 30 minutes to do, you know, just depending on, I guess, what the property is or what the size is. You know, I've not had like a huge property where I had to go take 100 pictures. I think the most I've taken was maybe 85, but I mean, we snap 100 selfies a day when we're trying to get the perfect one. So it's not really that difficult. And so the company that I was working with, I actually got a message yesterday that said that they listed me as the preferred notary in the area for their field agent services. So I'll be getting their calls to be doing those here in the area. So that's exciting. I've had a couple in McGregor, couple in Gatesville, couple in Waco. So, you know, I've done it a few times. It's definitely interesting, and you get to meet people and talk to people. So it's fun. Another one is we talk about mobile notary and remote online all the time. So if you're just a notary, a lot of people get it through their job, or, you know, if you work at the bank or your employer has asked you to get your, you know, notary certificate, that's your certificate. So that's your license. You can do whatever you would like to do with it. They don't own it. And so if you want to pick up and do some mobile notarizations or some online notarizations, if your state offers it on the side, do that. Take that opportunity. Some other options that I've found, which again, I've not done any of these next ones, but they are pretty interesting. Immigration form specialists. So, you know, get to know what those immigration forms are so that you can either help fill them out, or you can kind of direct on what to do. Now, you want to make sure that as you're going through this process, you really learn what the expectations are, because as a notary, we're not attorneys. We cannot provide any type of legal advice. And that's something that you'll learn when you go through and do your loan signing, is we can't give them advice. We're not attorneys. We're not real estate agents. You know, even if you are, you're not acting in that capacity at that time when you're doing that signing. So you can't give that advice. So if you're taking on these different opportunities and these different roles, make sure that you learn what you can and can't say, what kind of advice you can share, because you don't want to get yourself in hot water and share something, give advice that you're not supposed to give. You don't, especially on something like immigration forms. You don't want to give wrong information. And so make sure you pay attention to that. The next one was remote testimony witness for remote hearings. So a lot of court proceedings, you may be able to be a witness for those. And then also a digital court reporter. Again, I've not done these myself, so I don't know what all the details are, but it's things that you can look into. I did see some comments from some other people who said that they do it often, and it's pretty easy. It's one of those that you can do from home because you do it just here on your computer. As long as your computer will charge, then that works. But, you know, again, if it's something that you can pick up on the side, you can pick up in between, you know, your 9 to 5, or while you are waiting for loan signing appointments or whatever the case is, you know, add something else to it, learn something. That's always nice. Hold on. Pups, sit down. Now. Apologies. Another one that was pretty exciting, and it might be fun just because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a teacher. is a mobile exam proctor. So like if you have to go and take, SATs or whatever, you could be a proctor, go and be the person who administers the test and say, okay, pencils down, everybody stop, time's up, something like that. That's an option to do. And then this next one, it could be fun depending on your personality. I don't know. I don't think this one's for me because one, I don't want to fight people. Two, I don't want to fight people. But serving court documents. So pop up and say, hey, you've been served. That's always an option. I've seen people comment on, I'm in a lot of notary groups. I've seen people say that they do that. I don't know. That could be interesting. Again, I don't think that's something that I personally would do, just because, I don't know, I feel like people could get crazy if they don't want their paperwork or they don't agree with it or whatever. Oh, what is this about? I don't know. I don't want to get into it. And I might get a bad attitude or something. I don't know. And I'd hate to have to, go to court myself because we got punched in the face or somebody else got punched in the face. We talked about before, what we have to do to defend ourselves when we're out there. So it is what it is. The next one is a virtual assistant, which if that's something that, you've done before or you're interested in, Madison Allen actually is a great virtual assistant. She actually just released an ebook not too long ago on how to become a virtual assistant, some different things on there. So I'll share her information in the comments if you guys would ever like to get some more information on that. She will be happy to share. She has a Facebook group where she will do mentorships with you. She'll do coaching with you and walk you through the steps and the processes of how to get started, what needs to be done, all of that. And again, virtual assistant is something that you can do from home on the side in between other things. Madison has a small son. I'm not sure exactly how old he is. I think he's under 2 maybe, or maybe 2. So she's able to, stay home with him. And so that's a great opportunity to learn lots of different skills. I mean, people are so virtual nowadays. You can assist anybody. She has clients from all over, I'm sure, that she provides services for. She does all kinds of different things, web design, logos. I think she does some bookkeeping, lots of different things can go into that. And you can have lots of different skills to add to it. And then the more skills you add, the more valuable you become, the more you can charge. Not that, you want to make a ton of money and whatever, but really we do. That's the purpose of this. That's the goal here, is to run a business, be able to work for yourself, control your own schedule, get your time back, get your life back, so that you're not tied to a desk 9 to 5, 7 to 6, 5 to 5, whatever those crazy hours are. You have those opportunities and you have ways that you can make those adjustments, and you can add all these different things. Even if you don't do it for a long time, do it for a short time. Those people who work part-time jobs, you do DoorDash, you work at Dunkin'. We've all done it. I mean, I've done it. I worked at Dunkin'. You drive for Uber, you do whatever, you do these side hustles, you save up the money, you invest it back into your business so that you can grow, so that you can write that resignation letter. It says, thank you so much for 13, 14 years of service. I'm out. Peace out. Thanks for the fun times, but I'm on my own now. I'm doing me, right? We all want to be able to write that letter. Don't get me wrong. I love my job, love my boss, but ultimately that's the goal, is to be able to do that. And then the last one I have here is mystery shopping. I never technically did this. I know that there's an app called, I'm pretty sure it's called Field Agent. It's like an orange app. It looks like it has a picture of not a bow tie, but you know, the regular tie on it. But you sign up and you go and do like different things at stores. So like, for example, you'll go to Walmart and look for Clorox wipes, and you'll have to take a picture of it and like look at what the display looks like or whatever. Like, it'll give you very specific what kind of pictures it wants you to take. Does it want like 6 pictures of the display and then 3 pictures of the product itself and then a picture of the UPC code or whatever, you know? And so you can go to like big name stores like that. You can go to just convenience stores like 7-Eleven and like look at their candy, their drinks, their chips, just different things like that. To just kind of like check out, either is something on the shelf that should be off, like if it's expired or it's been recalled, or is the, what's it called? Planogram, I think is what we used to call it when I worked at Fred's. Like the display, is the display set up correctly, you know, to the liking of corporate or whatever. So just going in and examining their setup, taking the pictures. And so it seemed pretty easy. There's lots of people on YouTube. There's lots of notaries that I've been finding that are doing a lot of these, and they're, you know, documenting as they go. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Documenting as they go. And so you kind of get to see how that works before you go out and do it yourself. There's one that she specifically does like the this mystery shopping type work, and I think her name is She Boss. I'll double check it and put it in the comments just in case I'm wrong. But you know, she takes her son with her and he documents and helps her out. I think her son's like, you know, 16 or something. And so, you know, they do this and they put in the extra work. She's also a remote online notary. She's a mobile notary. She does loan signings, all of that stuff. And so she's just adding all this extra stuff to it. She's building her business, same as I am, and has the, you know, extra things to do to add to that. So these are just a few things that I came up with, or that I, you know, came up with this list, did some research. There's lots of YouTube videos, lots of things that you can look up if you're interested in doing it, interested in adding more things to whatever you do. Or if you're not a notary at all and you want to do some of these things, not all of them require you to be a notary. Obviously, the loan signings and, you know, apostilles, general notary work, things like that may require it. But not all of these do. So there's still lots of things that you can add to whatever you're doing now to make that extra money to work towards whatever goal you want to work towards. If you want to pay off your credit cards, if you want to buy a new pool for the summer, whatever, take a vacation, whatever, you do you. Find something that you can do. Find something that works for your life, something that's flexible. You can work from home, or something that, you know, you can go and do on the run. Mystery shopping. We all go to the store, you know. We all go to Walmart or 7-Eleven. We all stop at a gas station. Pick up a couple, make, you know, a few extra bucks a week. It's always an option. If you have questions, if you want help looking things up, if you want help researching how you can learn about it, or have questions on anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'll help you Google stuff. I probably don't know it, but I can look it up. We can make calls. We can find people who have done it. We can find people who are interested in doing it. If you're local, then we can get together, go for coffee, put a plan together, and start making it happen. whatever works. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, or if you have any, notary related or business related, working your 9 to 5 and trying to do something else on the side. Anything else topics you would like to discuss, you'd like us to look up. If you would ever like to join us on the show or join me on the show, let me know. I'd love to have someone else join every now and then. So that's all I have for now. So thank you for your patience and working through this with me on my phone and listening to my dogs in the background. So yeah, hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you.